Morning, students. Again, we are back to our course Power Generation Economics EE704C, and presently we will be discussing in our lecture number 8. We have covered 7 lectures in module 1 regarding the load curves, about the installation, fixed cost, variable cost, and capital cost. All the things of the different nuclear power plants, hydro power plants, thermal power plants we have discussed in and around about the load curves, what is load demand, what is demand curve, what is demand factor, what is utilization factor, what is capacity factor, and all these things we have drawn the graphs, we have solved the problems, and in the all this has been described in the 7 lectures. And now this is our lecture number 8 for in the module 1, and we will be continuation with our nuclear power plants. So nuclear power plants, particularly nuclear power plants, it has uses small quantity of fuel, but it is very small quantity but it is very costly. Small quantity, though very small quantity, but it is very costly. Uses small quantity of fuel, but very costly, but very costly in the nuclear power plants. So another part you can write down: a nuclear plant works at a higher efficiency. A nuclear plant works at a higher efficiency, higher efficiency when operated at a high load factor. When operated at a high load factor. High load factor. This is one of the most important part you can remember, when it is operated at a high load factor. So what is load factor? Load factor is average by maximum. So when the load factor is high, when the maximum is less, that means when it is maximum is less, so that means at a less amount of peak load, the load factor becomes high. So that means a nuclear power plant always can be operated as a base load. When the base load is there, so if it is operated as a base load, it has a high load factor. So nuclear power plant at operating at a base load has a higher efficiency and it has a higher load factor. So this point you can remember. So another thing you can write down, very important part, the role of the load diversity in power system economics. Diversity mean between the loads of different consumers, between the different consumers and different area, leads to the reduction in generation, transmission and distribution facilities. The most significant time periods for considering the diversity are the day and the year. Daily diversity is caused by a marked and consistent difference between the daily load cycles in two or more adjoining load areas, which results in peak at different times during the day. Daily load diversity results in reduced operating expenses. The benefits of daily diversity can be attained by economy energy transactions or daily diversity exchange agreements. So you can write down that the role of diversity, what is the role of diversity in power economics? Very important in power economics. In point wise, I will be writing, you can note it down. So diversity between the loads of different consumers and different areas lead to the reduction in generation, transmission, and distribution facilities. Obviously, so if the diversity of the loads, diversity of loads, if the diversity of loads are there, that means it can be sent from one place to another. So there is a reduction. So if there is a diversity, I can send from different parts to different parts. So there is a reduction. Obviously, there will be a reduction in number one, generation. So that is, we prefer always interconnected system, generation, transmission, and many. So diversity is caused by a marked and consistent difference between the daily load cycles in two or more adjoining load areas. So diversity is caused by a marked and consistent difference. So diversity makes a marked difference, you can mark the difference, a marked difference. So what is the marked difference between the load cycles in two or more adjoining load areas? So there, what is the marked difference? The marked difference is in the load cycle, you will be seeing the load pattern will be changing in different, which results in peak in different times during the day. So it changes in load cycle, so there is a peak change, in different times of a day, in different times of a day. So this is all about a part. Daily load diversity results in reduced operating expenses. So diversity is there, so expenses will be also reduced, because the generation cost has been reduced, the transmission cost has been reduced. So I am sending from power, so one area, so the two areas or three areas are interconnected with each other. It may be interconnected between one, two, and three, between 1 and 3, 1 and 2, between 2 and 3. If it is inner case, the power is sent to be 1 and 3. If it is a small system, so here also the power can be sent from one place to another. So due to the diversity, so here the generation cost becomes less. Here no need to generate from here to here. We can send from here to here. This is 3 has been connected with 1, as well as it is connected with 2. So the generation cost in this area becomes less. So these are the all the things. Now let us discuss about the diesel power plants. Let us discuss about the diesel power plants. Now diesel and gas turbine power plants, diesel and gas turbine plants, power plants. So what are the characteristics? What are the advantages? So here number 1, you can write the design and installation of this sort of plants is very simple. Number 2, what you can suggest from here, they can be installed, procured, you can easily get procured, and commissioned. It can be easily commissioned. Easily. So what is the number 3? The layout, design and construction, foundation and buildings of digital plants, the layout is simple. Layout is simple. So they can be started and put on load quickly. They can be started and put on load, so they can easily carry the load, put on load easily. So these are the and they have less losses and good efficiency. Obviously, loss is less means efficiency high. Efficiency high. Number 5, they require less space and large fuel storage. So these are the characteristics. They are free from ash problems. Ash problems are free here. Here the cooling requirements are less. Cooling requirements are less than steam plants. Steam plants. They can be located near the load centers. They are located, that means they can be located, rather you can say they can be located near load centers. So these are some of the advantages of diesel power plants, and you know that the diesel power plants and gas turbine plants are mainly used for the peak loads, and the nuclear power plants are mainly used for the base loads. So these are all the points you can note it down, and let us discuss some of the objective questions. I think your conception will be more clear with these sort of objective questions. I am reading the objective questions one after another. You can. So demand factor, the first question is about the demand factor. Demand factor for a residential load. For a residential load. So what is the approximate demand factor for a residential loads? The answers are given 2.1, 1.2, 0.2 and 0.7. Obviously, the demand factor is less than 1 and it should be 0.7 for a residential loads. Now, which statement are true? So this one, the many statements are given. So you know that this statement you must remember that the peak diversity factor, peak you understand the peak part. The peak part of the diversity factor may be more or less. This is one of the most important conception, may be more or less than group diversity factor. Group diversity factor. Please remember this thing. Then group diversity factor. This statement is true. This statement is true. Third question, you know the demand factor. The demand factor is what? It is maximum demand by connected load. Maximum demand by connected load. This was one of the objective questions. Number 4, the chronological load curve. Now, what the chronological load curve depicts? Chronological load curve, LC, load curve. What the chronological load curve shows? It shows the variation in demand from instant to instant during 24 hours. So, chronological load curve shows the variation in demand from instant to instant during 24 hours. The chronological load curve depicts the variation in demand from instant to instant during 24 hours. The load factor. What is load factor? Load factor is average load by maximum load or peak load. So, one curve has been given to you. The curve is like this. So, here it has been told it is 20. Here it has been told as 100. And here it has been given as 0. And this one has been given as 8760 hours. So, this is the curve. So what does this curve tells you? So this curve tells you about the annual load duration curve. Annual. So this is 365 days. So this curve tells you about the annual load duration curve. Annual load duration curve. Okay. Now, same curve, another question has been given. Same curve, another question has been given. This is a dotted. So this is 20, this is 100, all are in megawatts. Okay. This is 0, this is 8760 hours. So here the question has been given, what is the load factor? Load factor of this curve. So the load factor of this curve is, it has been given as 70%, 60%, 50%, and another 20%. So it is, what is load factor? Load factor is average load by the maximum load. So the average, this is the base, the average becomes this one. So this is becomes 40. So this part is 40 and this is 20. So 20 is there. So that is becomes 60. So load factor becomes 0.6. So this is this part is 80. So 80 divided by 2 is 40. So 40 and 20. So this becomes the load factor 0.60. Now what is the energy indicated by the curve? So you find out the area of this part. So one will be 8760, the energy consumed. 8760 into 20 plus half into 80 into 8760. So this one you calculate it will come about 5256600 megawatt hour. Okay, so what does this curve depicts? It is somewhat like this. So here it is been given 0 to 100%, 0 to 100%, the time, in the time scale it is given like this, and here it is given in megawatt, 0 to 100, 0 to 100. In between it is 50 megawatt. So what this curve depicts? This curve depicts about the load duration curve. So this curve depicts about the load duration curve. This curve depicts about the load duration curve. So out of these two curves, which one has the more load factor? So this curve, suppose the curve number 2 has more load factor than the curve number 2 has the more load factor than the curve number 1. Obviously you see this is the point you will be getting, and this part has been told as previously it was 20, here it is 50. So 50, so base is 50, so this point, this becomes 25, so 50 plus 25 is 75.75, and here it is 0.6. So the this load factor, here it is more. Now another question, it has been given like this: for a generating plant, the utilizer for a generating power plant, the utilization factor may be remember, the utilization factor may be more or less than 1. It may be more or less than 1. For a generating power plant, the utilization factor may be more or less than 1. The capacity factor of a plant, what is the capacity factor? The capacity factor of a plant is the average load by plant capacity, These things all we have learned. And regarding utilization factor and capacity factor and load factor, what is the relation? The capacity factor is equal to load factor into utilization factor. This thing you must be remembering. The capacity factor equals to load factor into utilization factor. Now another statement, many statements are there, so you can remember another statement: the load factor of a base plant is always, load factor of a base load plant is more than the peak load plant, peak load plant. Obviously the main part is always will be the base load, the main load will be the base load, so the load factor will be always greater than the peak load. Peak load will be for the certain part, the maximum part is the base load, so the base load factor is always greater than the peak load plant. Okay, thank you students, we will be meeting again in the next class, and any doubts you can ask. We have till now covered module 3, module 5 and module 1. Okay, read those lecture classes, have a good conception, and clear your conceptions. Thank you.